World of YouTube out here, son sick, gotta do a video. This is a new series of videos I'm doing, and it's called Music from the Past. And why am I doing this? Because some music of today, to me, royally sucks. And all I can say is about music of today, of the lame beats, melody, lyrics, lack of everything, and it's just goddamn sickening that every day I turn on the radio and I can't even listen to a damn song without saying, oh jeez, this just royally sucks. So I'm doing music from the past, and today I'm covering my first album called Mr. Big. Now, this band, you can call them a one-hit wonder, whatever, don't care, but these albums will always be a legendary source of awesome music that you will ever find. I'm gonna go over a couple samples of music that they do, and for all you youngins out there, this is a cassette tape. Cassette tapes came after albums, records you call them. You know what them are. Them are what DJs uses to scratch on a record player. And then came the 8-track cassette, which was bigger than this. Did not come in a casing, but yet music was always just, to me, awesomely ran through it. I got the pug here today. He's being a pain in the ass. Got work. Get over there, pug. Sit down, pug. But anyways, what is my point of doing these videos? To show you what kind of fucking music that should be played. And every music, an album, an artist from back in the day told a story. Alright? No lack of lyrics. If they did have, one-hit lyric songs that were just repeated, even that was good. Compared to today's bullshit. Can't stand today's music. Only few have survived from making it big. And at least this band tried. And the only reason why this band died out when their first album came out, self-titled Mr. Big, and this is Lean Into It, their second album. And the only reason why this band went out is because grunge came along from Seattle. And all the bands from the 80s, of course, went down, which I don't know why. Because a lot of bands in the late 80s, early 90s, like Rat, Skid Row, both of them guys, Detonator, powerful, heavy album. Skid Row came out with Slave to the Grind, and then Subhuman. And it was just nuts on how this grunge could have just killed when it was all heavy stuff, just like the 80s. And you be quiet. I'm gonna go bark at everybody. Yeah, be quiet, Ted. But I don't know why, and I can't understand why, but of course, kids of the newer generation, whatever. But you'll all thank me in the end for this, because you know what? If not, you don't. So what? Stay with your senseless, lyrical, non-lyrical music then, with crappy melodies and beats. But if you want to check out the 80s, even the 70s I'm going back into, to the 60s, mind you. We're going to have ourselves a good time with this. I know I am, because I broke out my tapes the other day and took some of them tapes out I'm going to go over. And this was one of them. And this has got great, as you call, ballad songs that are just, cool songs that just bring back old memories. Also, there's some good hot rockin' tracks on this too, to get yourself on the highway and want to step on the gas a little bit and release a little bit of that gasoline from your engine. Do a little speed. I don't mean the crappy drug either. I'm talking about speed in your vehicle. Traveling music too. That's what the 80s was all about. 60s too, even the 70s. Music that just rocked or wanted you to take a nice ride out. You know, to be free is right. Which today's music makes me want to just rip the earphones off and just cut them with a pair of scissors. Take my Bluetooth and just shut it off completely and don't even know how to use it. Period. Today's music is just embarrassing. But let's get into this, as this is my first album I'm going to talk about, and the intro to my new Songs of the Past. As you see here, we got Billy Sheehan, which is one of the top 10 greatest bassists of all time. This guy has speed, lightning fingers. His riffs were just soul-driven to make you just say, wow, how does he do that? Amazing. Just like the great Cliff Burton, just like Geddy Lee from Rush, and therefore Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. I put him up in the ranks with them guys because he deserves it. And even Rex from Pantera. You know, just to give you a glimpse of what bands I know of. And give you a shout out of what, you know, Paul Gilbert over here is the lead guitarist, and he's got some good riffs as fourth to be in. You can get him a little bit confused with Eddie Van Halen, I can tell you that. He ain't as great as him, but when you hear the riffs and the playing and the strumming of that, tapping on that guitar, which I think he got a little bit from Billy Sheehan too, because Billy Sheehan does a little tapping with his finger, three finger tap. That's what he's famous for. And you got the vocalist here. He was a good vocalist. He had some good chords. And of course, drummer over here. And I'm gonna give you a little sample and give you a little taste of what they played. Can't play too much, of course. Hopefully this video goes through without copyrights. That's why I'm only sampling songs. But this is a song here. Hang on. I'm a little rusty on my music because, like I said, I just broke this out literally, and I haven't listened to this. Green Tinted 60s Mind. It'll give you a little hint of what this band's made of, because due to the fact that Billy Sheehan's been around since the late 70s, playing for UFO, early 80s of playing with the great Michael Schenker. And he's the brother of Rudolph Schenker of the Scorpions, rhythm guitarist. So it just goes to show a couple bands there that he played in that were great ones. And he was best known for also being in David Lee Roth, Eat 'Em and Smile album, which that was Roth's second album from Crazy from the Heat, which that was just an EP cover album type thing. I mean, he did pretty good with that, even though it was a little goofy tasting album. But Eat 'Em and Smile, oh yeah, man, that album kicked ass for Mr. Roth himself, from leaving the mighty Van Halen brothers. But also, you know, when he kicked into Mr. Big here, that was another landmark time for him. So, I mean, it's just to show a little bit of taste of what he could play and how good he was. And let's go back, if I can get to the first song on this album. For all you little kiddies out there wondering what I'm using, right, this is a tape deck. And to go over what my last tape was bought in 2001, and I bought the mighty Rob Halford Resurrection album. And to see the tapes just come off the shelves like that was just insane. I was sitting there at the store like, what the hell's going on here, you know? I heard the new Rob Halford and I was pissed though when he left Judas Priest, but to come out like these bands normally do and just rip ass and kick it was just totally awesome. This is Alive and Kicking by it. Get a little riff. And then I'll shut it off after this because copyrights. I'll give you a little hard tasting truths of what this is really about. Got a little vocal there, awesomeness. And like I said, these songs told a story back in the day, all past music, up till today, with nothing. Alright, I don't want to, you know, there was the first album, Mr. Big, and that one was known for their single, damn it, I forgot it. I mean, check out these albums. If anybody's interested in these albums, I'll tell you right now, it's worth the money to buy. You will get your money's worth. You'll get some good tunes. And, you know, it's just, this is why I'm bringing this out also, to give you a little taste of why. It's because of the simple fact of bands. There was two bands in the early 2000s that, and I like to bring this up all the time. The other one was, I can't remember the name. It was in the mix of, I know I should have written that band's name down, but I'll use Wolf Mother. Wolf Mother came out, got their fan base, and then disappeared. And I read an article somewhere of why they disappeared. And I love to use this band as an example because they're dipshits. And they come out with the song Joker and the Thief. You hear it on the radio. You hear them cranking it everywhere. And then they stop making music. You want to know why they stopped making music? And this is why they stopped making music. And it's not like the bands of the past where they would come out year after year after year. And if it wasn't for grunge, I know Mr. Big would have came out with many more albums. But Wolf Mother stopped playing because they didn't want a man fan base. They didn't want the gentlemen to like their music. They wanted the women to like their music. It's like, wow, you bunch of fucking cornholes. Give me a break. So they stopped playing music and making albums because they didn't get the women fan base that they wanted. What the fuck is wrong with you idiots? And I quote on that. And I'll put that on my life that they said that. And it's just disgustingly sick to even hear that. Which back in the day, bands like Mr. Big, right here, played because, you know, they had the heart, they had the soul, they had the rhythm, and they had the means to make music. Because they came from places just like me and you. A lot of bands came from the streets, broke, just struggling to make it. And, you know, back in my time, there, kiddies, people wanted to play music because it made money, but because their feelings, also the times of what they lived through, was they had to put it in the music. Something they needed to do. And that's what made them feel good. Music. To me, music is a way of life. And you need it in your life. Whether it be your crappy shit you listen to today, or you just go back in the past and find the right band fit for you. Which I think Mr. Big has some good, like I said, theme songs to ballads and good memory songs. You'd enjoy both albums. So, therefore. But being my first session on this, that's right. I'm going back in the past, deep in the past. I'll bring you to stuff that you wouldn't even expect to see me listening to. From the mix of Johnny Cash to even Dolly Parton. Because at least their music back then made sense and told a story. So, other than that, I'm starting this series of videos and giving everybody a little taste of what music should be like. Not just put together for your one rhythm, one word lyric song, which is pathetic to me. Good music. Let me see if I get this back a little bit. This is the only thing I'm gonna suck about this goddamn thing is because you just can't push a button and go to the song with the CD. You gotta rewind this sucker. It's called rewind. Forward and rewind. Them are my days. Give you a little taste. And this is a highway song. Break it out. Yeah. Get down and kick it. I love it. Now when I get on the highway and play this sucker, woo, I'm stepping on the gas and I'm going. So I hope you enjoy my new series of music of the past. Here you go, kiddies. Let's show you what a cassette tape looks like if you haven't looked it up yet on Google. Whoop. Look at that. This is what I used to listen to. Mr. Big. So I got more tapes to come. More music to share. Till that time, YouTube Nation, keep rocking. Find real music. Be with you on the next video. That's right. YouTube Nation, take care. Out.